Hello and welcome to our channel. My name is Laura. So today this reading is specifically for those of you who have been feeling very drawn to either the color electric blue or have been working very strongly with Archangel Michael, or have been sensing or feeling that he has a pretty important message for you. So this is still a general reading in the sense that the topic will be more broader than focusing on specific events in your life right now. But regardless, the energy that you are experiencing at the moment will resonate in whichever situation is more prevalent to you right now or more at the forefront. So with that in mind, please just try and feel the message and I suppose just feel what sparks understanding rather than try and fit it as a puzzle piece. So there might be moments where the message is not for you personally, and that is fine. Hopefully there's still some advice or maybe understanding that you can glean for future experience as well. So just bear that in mind. So today I'm going to start with an oracle card from the Blue Angel Oracle. And for those of you who work with angels or archangels, Archangel Michael's energy is electric blue, and for most people who say they feel his energy, it's more of a warmer energy, as he works very much with the cleansing fire. Okay, so the card that came out is Synchrotron, and it says infinite possibility. Now, you are at the precipice, or likely at the precipice, of some great change. You are probably feeling quite uneasy and uncomfortable. That is one message. Another message is that things seem so far outside of your control right now. And that is because you are very focused on others, and you're very focused on helping and being of service. The thing I have to say is that if you can pull back your energy and bring it back to focusing on that which you can do, because at the moment there's a sense of feeling lost in all that you cannot control. Yet you have much power within you for great change, and there's also many tasks that you know you must complete, or you have a very strong sense of path or purpose, or a project, something at work, or something that you know that you're feeling called to do. And if you haven't quite figured that one out, that's coming. There's a need now to really cultivate, or I suppose really be mindful of the ways in which you use your energy, or the ways in which you focus your energy. What do you focus your energy on? And this message has come up a couple of times, particularly in regards to what we think about, we bring about, that sort of saying. But if you can, because there's a lot going on external to you, and perhaps even in family, friendships, that kind of thing. But there's also a great deal of distraction, and some of that is distraction. There's unnecessary draining of your energy. And so there is a need to really use that energy to create, to grow something of value and something that is meaningful for you. But this creation of yours is beneficial not just to you. And you won't always, some of you might not see it as literally so obvious of the change that you have made or the ripple effect, or at least not at first, but don't you worry, the ripple effect is infinite. And we can never know how much we make a difference. So really it's about doing things that are in integrity and focusing on the love for what you do and the reason why you do what you do. Because then if you're focused on that, there's that feeling of positivity, that gratitude, that love, that loving focus. And that shifts so much around you as well. Not just from what you create, but that energy, it just emanates. And so that is your focus right now. Bring it back, pare it back. Come back to the heart space. And what I mean by that is a lot of that worry and concern is dimming or affecting other areas of your life that are very important to you. Okay, so we move on. Now, Archangel Michael, obviously, he is protector. He's a protector angel, warrior angel. So if you're feeling this energy or seeing his color, feeling him around you, know that he is here for you. But we do need to ask for his assistance. Likely you already have been doing that. But there's still more needed in that regard as well. And proper cleansing, protecting of your energy. Past energy that no longer serves you. Energy drains. People, places, things that have been bringing you down. You're needing to put more firmer boundaries. Because it is important now that you get going, take action. Sense of being held back. Not always. I feel like for many of you listening to this or watching this, you have learned very much how to maintain the integrity of your boundaries, helpful boundaries. Yes, give and help other people, but really needing to look after your energy. But it's always different when it's someone very close to you. It's very hard to recognize that, okay, now I can do no more, or now the ball is in your court. Now you need to help yourself. I've given you the tools. I'm here for you. I will help you in the ways that I can, but you're going to need to want the help, right? Need to accept the help. Need to help yourself. Take action, take charge. So that might be a message for a couple of you as well. And I know that I can certainly glean some advice from that as well. Take some of that on board for myself. So we are all in this together, right? In some way, shape, or form. Okay. We'll get there eventually. Yes. So, not Archangel Michael card. This is the Angel Heart Sigils. But we have Anticipation, Zafkiel. So, there is a sense of something being birthed, something that is very meaningful. There is, so the anticipation is that this is significant. It really calls to you, really calls to your heart. You know that there's something coming. And now this something coming, I'm talking about something positive, something beneficial, something that you're excited about, not something imminent that is harmful in any way. And that's not to say we don't have difficulties in our lives, and so to speak, but this is what I'm talking about here, is something very positive. And it's like a breakthrough for you. And whether this be as in part of your evolution, your spiritual journey, and an awakening process that you have been on, getting onto a more even keel, or really have been feeling up and down, and then get to that point where you've been able to integrate lessons. That is one way you might see that in your life at this time. But also to in the form of an offer, in the form of someone picking up your manuscript and loving it, in the form of a job offer, influx of money, a sudden flow of abundance, suddenly feeling in the flow and everything's just synchronistic and working. The idea that you've been waiting for, or the idea of how you are now able to implement your plans or take action on your plans, or the green light to now take action. That's what you're waiting for. And know that it is coming. And exaltation. See Michael at the bottom of the deck, and the heart, and and you can see here, that's like the earth. So this is important. This has a lot of significance far beyond how it changes your life. And I love it that it's the heart. And I get a lot of creative energy from this card. And whether you're getting more recognition, or it is something that is a little bit more personal to you, know that this is all because you're operating with integrity. This is all because you are very heart-centered. And this is coming from the heart. And when it comes from the heart, when you have love and appreciation of all that you have and what you're giving, and the ways in which you give it without selfish agenda. And I don't mean that you don't benefit. What I mean is that there is a love from being able to be of service. The gratitude that you hold for that, and for the ways in which you see small actions have positive impacts on others. And I've kind of lost my brain's kind of gone around in circles now, but what I'm saying is that when you're in that space, that is why this new influx of energy is coming in. But you can't do wrong when you are operating from the heart with a positive intention, with harm to none. And you're being looked after, and Archangel Michael is present because he sees the ways in which you keep going, and the ways in which you care for others and you protect others, and you are quite selfless. He sees the beauty within you, and he is present because you have an important role. And so if there's any part of you that says, why would Archangel Michael be so strongly working with me, or why do I deserve that, for instance, know that that's because you are operating from the heart space. Because of that kindness and that unconditional love that you send out on a regular basis. He sees that. And so that is acknowledgement from Archangel Michael. So the exaltation that appreciation, that recognition is coming from the angelic realm. Yeah, okay. So, also too, when I mentioned before about past energy, there is a need to clear and cleanse your space, your own energy field. There's past energy still that has been affecting you. And whether it be apprehension or past disappointments that are making you fearful of taking a step up, you have the transformation card. Archangel Zadkiel, who works with the violet flame energy, which is also a cleansing fire energy. So you've got Archangel Michael and Archangel Zadkiel. There is a message here about transforming that past energy, past disappointments, transforming it into something positive and useful. So gleaning lessons from it, for instance, or approaching it from a space of, okay, so what did I learn here? What tools did I gain from that I can now use in this situation, or that I can now share with others? So it depends on your circumstance and what we're talking about here, and you'll know if and how that fits for you. So definitely, if you're drawn to this reading and it resonates, you have already been seeing the signs, and that you've been drawn to blue, for instance, or you've been seeing feathers. We've been very drawn to angels lately, or Archangel Michael, etc. You have been receiving signs and reminders that you are supported. And you know this already. But if you have been doubting or second guessing, this is your message that that you now must not doubt that. Now pay attention, or now take it on board. Know that yes, they are talking to you, they are assisting you, they are supporting you, and yes, that was a sign. And you know it's a sign a lot of the time, number one, because you didn't make that up, or you look at what you're presented with, whether it be a feather, for instance, or a word or a song, and then you feel this warmth, or you feel this feeling of love and support, and it's just like in the center of your heart, and it just sort of flows out, but you feel it's like warm and fuzzy, so to speak. But sounds a bit odd, but that's how I feel it when I know that is a sign for me. And when the first thing you think about, the association you make, that is your message. So then no snowballing or second guessing it, or then going, no, but maybe it was this or that, or maybe it was just a coincidence. Initial, what you're feeling. If you get nothing from it, then it's likely just a feather, right? It's not a message. Particularly if there's like just so many feathers under a tree or whatever, you know, like there's just too many feathers in it, and it's not really evoking any feeling or association or the recognition that it is a sign in that moment. Because you'll feel it when it's a sign. You get that confirmation in whatever way you get that intuitive confirmation. You get the confirmation that it is a message. It's not later that you go, oh, maybe that was a message. If it doesn't stick in your mind and it doesn't stand out to you, then it's not a message. Or then you're not paying attention to it. Either or. But usually you'll get that that feeling of resonance. And I feel it like a warmth, that feeling of love, like blooming, like blossoming at the heart, like a warmth. And I know that that's a message. So maybe that feels right for you too. And you have likely been asking for signs and assistance already. So then why would you not receive it? It's kind of like, are you questioning that the angels are listening to you? Of course they are. And just know that they are trying to assist you, especially if you've been really asking for assistance in a specific situation, one that's been ongoing, or that you're not sure how you're going to move past this, you know, where you're at. Your prayers are being carried away by the angels, and they're trying to work with you. But we do need to do work, obviously, and we do need to recognize when we need to take action and recognize when we need to make a decision. We do need to recognize that part of the ball is in our court, you know. It's like a co-creation, working together, teamwork. And why I say that the angels are hearing you, or your guides, however, or ancestors, however you resonate, because you also get the Archangel Sandalphon card. And that you got the Archangel Sandalphon card says that your purpose here is, you definitely would resonate as being either a light worker or a healer, or someone that has some purpose to assist the earth and humanity. Okay, one more card where I'm feeling drawn. Last one. Okay. So this situation does require you to be confident, or to stand in your power. That requires a level of vulnerability. Likely it's because you're needing to step outside your comfort zone. And as human beings and creatures of habit, we love that. Some of us actually do love it, but I know, being a Taurus, that I am very, very happy to stay in my comfort zone. But you know what? The comfort zone ends up being uncomfortable, particularly when you're called to purpose. And it's interesting because likely you step outside your comfort zone. Well, this is probably me who I'm talking about here, but maybe this is resonating with you, that you can make yourself step out of your comfort zone, yes. And then in that space, you start to get comfortable, like you get used to it, and this becomes your new comfort zone, right? So then, when you're meant to make another step, you are very apprehensive about, again, stepping out your comfort zone, because you're in a space where, you know, this is seems like easy for me, but you're needing to step out of it. And again, you get used to it, you get the hang of it, and it becomes your new comfort zone. So the message here is that, yes, at first you might second guess and think that maybe you don't have everything you need, or that this is way outside your comfort zone. that you are a fish out of water, so to speak. But just give it time, because then you'll get used to it. You will find your rhythm and flow, and then it will become more natural to you. And that's actually really the same if we're talking about the healing process. It's difficult, but implementing new boundaries can also be uncomfortable and difficult at the start, because it's a change and it's something new. But then we get used to it, and then we can then try and implement a new boundary. It's kind of like that. It's like everything, really. So then, with that in mind, know that every moment passes. So while it might be difficult to begin with, while you'll have to really muster your strength and your I suppose, go attitude, and fake it till you make it, so to speak, as in confidence-wise, maybe. You've got everything you need. You can do this. So I don't mean pretend you're something you're not, but just know that through that process, your unique gifts and talents are being revealed. Often, our biggest strengths are what we used to think were our weaknesses. And do you know why that is? Because we've had to fight for them, or fight to reclaim them. You've had to really put that work in, and it's been a tug of war. And once you succeed, you realize, hang on a second, I'm actually really great at this, but I've had to do a crash course. I've had to be under pressure to find that strength, that gift, that talent, that thing that I'm actually really now called to share with others. And I get this from this card today, 21, exposed and revealed. It's like an uncovering process, and you feel vulnerable at first and exposed. Maybe you're stepping into the spotlight, but over time, you recognize the bad that you are. I won't say that on YouTube. Okay. So I'm going to leave that with you today. Hopefully you glean something that you can take with you over the coming days and weeks. But if you are needing to sort of process that for a little while, if you could just take on board one thing, that Archangel Michael is very close to you at present, and remembering to call on him for assistance. Make sure you're engaging in self-care, good energetic protection and boundaries, clearing your energy, particularly if you're one who feels very sensitive and that you take on board a lot from others. So wishing you all the best, and I hope to see you back here again soon.